All right, you guys, today we are going to be talking about two different formulas. We'll be talking about the volume formula of a rectangular prism and a cylinder and the surface area formula for a rectangular prism and a cylinder. Okay, so you will not have to memorize formulas, but you will have to know the difference between if a question is asking for volume or if it's asking for surface area. It won't always just say, what is the volume? It will ask you like, how much does this hold, or how much does it take to cover? So we have to know those key words. All right, so let's get started. Volume. Volume is a measure of the amount an object can hold. Okay, the figure is 3D. Think a box or a soup can or a soda can. And the units are cubed. So if it's centimeters, we've got to have a little 3 behind it. Just like area is squared, volume is cubed. Volume fills the figure. So an example of that would be how much water would fill a water bottle, or how much water fills a tub. Okay, so we'll say water fills a tub, or a pool, or a bottle. Okay. Another example of volume would be like the sand, the amount of sand it takes to fill a sandbox. Okay. So you'll see lots of different types of volume problems, but we're really talking about the inside of an object, how much it can hold before it would overflow. Okay, so let's start with rectangular prisms. I would say rectangular prisms are the easiest of these shapes because the formula is so straightforward for volume. Okay, because we are taking the area, which is length times width of a rectangle, and multiplying it by the height. We're just adding one dimension on there. So we're going to try 3 and 4, and then I'll have you do 5 and 6 on your own. Okay, so we've got volume equals length times width times height. Now the nice thing about this formula is that length and width and height, it doesn't matter what order, where you pick the length, where you pick the height, people get caught up on that, but you're multiplying all 3 numbers together, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose for length, width, or height. All right, so just for today's purpose, I'll say that the length is 6, the width is 3, and the height is 4. So we've got volume equals length. We're going to plug it in like substitution. So wherever I see that L, I'm plugging it in. For 6, I see the W is 3, plugging it in, and I see the 4 is the height. Okay, so then all you do is multiply the 3 numbers together. So 6 times 3 times 4. If you did 3 times 4 times 6, or 4 times 6 times 3, you're still going to get 72 centimeters cubed. So that rectangular prism can hold 72 centimeters cubed of whatever object it needs to hold. Number 4 looks a little different. It is a net for a rectangular prism. Okay, so if I cut like a cardboard box, like a cereal box out, and I laid it flat, it would look like that. That's a net. If I glued it back all together, it would make a box, a rectangular prism. All right, so same thing here. We'll say that the length is 6, and the height is 3, and the width is 2. So volume equals length times width times height. When they're all smushed together, it means we're multiplying them together. Length is 6, width is 2, and height is 3. When I do 6 times 2 times 3, see what you get when you put that in your calculator. You should get 36 centimeters cubed. Okay? All right, so now go ahead and press pause on the video. I want you to try 5 and 6 on your own. Raise your hand when you are done. Do not move on before getting them checked by a teacher. Okay, and then you can move on to the cylinders. All right, now we've got cylinders. So cylinders, just like a soup can or a soda can, we're still talking about how much that soup can or soda can hold. So if we're talking about volume, our formula is pi r squared h, where r is the radius, r stands for radius, and h stands for height. So as a reminder, on this circle, there's a radius and a diameter. Okay? So my diameter goes all the way across. And you probably want to write that on yours. The diameter goes all the way across. The radius just goes halfway across. So this would be like my radius, and then my height would just be how tall it is. Okay? Now, if the problem gives you the diameter instead of the radius, which we'll see in a second, you have to cut the radius in half. So you would have to do, say the diameter was 10, then you would have to divide by 2 to get the radius. So the radius would be 5. So number 7, radius is half of the length of the diameter. Very important to know. All right, let's try number 8. So we've got a cylinder. It's tipped on its side, which is fine. And its radius goes halfway across, so we're going to use r as 6. Radius is 6, and its height is 10. Okay, so our formula, volume equals pi r squared h, and we'll plug in each of the numbers. We know pi is 3.14. We're going to be using that, so actually let's write 3.14 instead. Okay, and then we've got times the radius squared, so times 6 squared times the height, which is 10. Okay? I would not recommend putting all of this in your calculator. We should simplify first. So simplify that 6 squared. 6 squared is 36 times 10. Now you can multiply just 3.14 by 36 and then see what you get times 10, or you can put them all in your calculator. 3.14 times 36 times 10, and you should get 1,130.4. And we'll cube those units again. Okay, so hopefully you got that as your answer when you put it in your calculator as well. All right, number 9, the last one that we will do together for volume of a cylinder. Now, if you look very closely, that is the diameter. 10 is the diameter, it's all the way across. So we need to cut it in half. If we took half of that, the radius would be 5. So we're using 5, not 10. Okay, and then my height is 12. So volume equals pi r squared h. Now it's just a game of substitution. Pi times radius squared, so times 5 squared, times the height, which is 12. So we've got volume equals, let's go ahead and write out 3.14 times 25, because 5 squared is 25, times 12. Go ahead and take a second to multiply all of that together and see what you get for your formula, or for your volume of a cylinder. You should get 942 centimeters cubed. Okay, not too bad. What I would like you to do is try 10 and 12. It should be 10 and 11, but I misnumbered. So 10 and 12, and then raise your hand and get it checked. Once you finish that, you'll move on to surface area. Great job, you guys.